Hi and welcome back to CC Convos. Today I'll be bringing you along as I do my weekly plant chores. I hope you enjoy. I checked this big monster this morning and it looks like the water level is a little bit lower. So I'm just gonna add maybe an extra bottle inside. I'm just gonna add an extra bottle because one of those roots was kind of sticking out of the water and getting a little dry. So on this big propagation, I actually want the roots to continue growing for a little bit longer before I actually plant it in soil, just so that they're a little bit more established and that this basically huge cutting will hopefully still be able to survive. Later in the video, I will show you the base that I actually cut the top of this plant from. So I saved the bottom and I chopped it off and I chopped it down. We're actually gonna fertilize my plants too. And I don't always fertilize them, but I'm like, maybe I should start. So I'm gonna do about half of the strength that this calls for. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's not necessarily that good in the afternoon, but this is a time that my cat's asleep, so he won't mind me messing with the plants. This Monstera adansonii is getting huge leaves with huge fenestrations. It's also climbing up. It's new growth. I recently just gave it a huge haircut and it is growing like crazy now. Been spraying it with some neem. Sometimes this one gets a little bit of like a powdery mildew on it. So I'm spraying it with neem, but I noticed that sometimes neem oil will like burn the leaves. So you're gonna have to pick your battle. This one's definitely dry, and the way you can tell is that if you look at the meter shows in the red. So when I like to water like my philodendrons, even my begonia, I'll water it right when the red meets the green. More for like prayer plants or things that like to stay moist for longer, I will put it when it's maybe a 4, so like still kind of in the green but almost red. My cat has dug this up so many times. He just would not leave this alone, and so most of it actually died, and I tried to propagate it but it didn't work. All the cuttings just ended up rotting. So I'm actually surprised to see that here is going to be 1 and 2 new growth. My begonia got a huge haircut recently. I made tons of propagations. Actually, all of the begonia propagations are doing great. There's tons of new growth on this part now since I cut it. You can see all of this new growth here. More. It's even making a branch over here. I'll move it a little closer. See all the new growth here? As you can see, the variation on these new leaves is very beautiful. This one is about a half. I like to bring all of my plants to the sink and water them. Then I let them sit for a little while. Then I'll put them back where they go. And I'll kind of show you my cleaning process that I do when I put them back. Here's this. It was supposed to be a philodendron pink princess, but it definitely looks like it's reverted because it's mostly green. I'm really wanting to get rid of this one. Maybe get some sort of tree-like plant. I would love a fiddly fig. I'm just scared that my cat would want to knock it over. I try to pot all of my houseplants in about the same mixture. So I use indoor potting mix. It's just the Miracle-Gro one, and it will say like less prone to gnats on the bag. And then I mix it with perlite, and recently I've been adding a little bit of charcoal. This makes them dry out around similar rates, so then I can just water them all at the same time. Because when it comes to plant care, I do not want a ton of work. I recently watered the Thai. The Thai has been through a lot. It has a story. So when I first got it, they told me they used cocoa coir or like cocoa chips to plant it. So I planted it in cocoa chips. Well, that retains tons of water, so the roots started to rot, started to get yellowing on this lowest leaf. So it's been repotted probably about 5 times, not even kidding. So now I put it in this clay pot since it will wick away some of the moisture. And I bought orchid bark instead of cocoa chips. And so far, before I repotted it into clay, it was growing good roots. So hopefully it will continue to grow nice roots. And I'm just letting it dry out a little bit before I water. Part of why the lighting is not very good is because around this time of day, this boy sleeps, and I wanted him to be asleep when I was messing with the plants because he would try to be all up in them, like, what are you doing? So right now, he's chilling. This is Fern. He's a big boy, but he's still only about 9 months old. So he's a little crazy. Thank you for watching, and if you like my plant videos, please consider subscribing. I'll be coming out with more videos, probably repotting and planting my propagations.